Hey, Tony Gaskins here, popping in. Now, didn't have a small business Saturday in my spirit today, but got a good question tonight from our group coaching call for the 2021 Jumpstart course that we're doing. And one of the young ladies, she asked, she said, Tony, how do I meet a man with this situation going on? Got to wear a mask and, working from home a lot and can't go to the grocery store all the time. How am I going to meet my husband? And I want to tell you, and a lot of times women don't like to hear this, but just like the Bible say, he who finds a wife finds a good thing and receives favor from the Lord. It intentionally said he who finds a wife, not he who is found by a wife, not he who is pursued by a wife, not he who is lured in by a wife. So it's not a mistake. And what you have to understand, and I have to tell you this, like, I don't really know how to make this any more clear for women than other than he will find you. Like, all you have to do is exist. All you have to do is just get out the house. Just leave the house, just go to the grocery store. And I know a lot of you say, well, Tony, I've been doing that and I'm 90 years old and still ain't met him. Listen, the older you get, the more serious you need to get about your life. If you under 30, stop worrying. If you under 30, stop worrying. If you over 30, don't worry, but get actionable, meaning sign up for coaching and get some feedback on the energy that you sending off. And literally, a lot of times it's one thing. A lot of times it's one thing. Because what you got to realize is a lot has to do with energy, and then a lot has to do with presentation. But your energy and your presentation a lot of times is determined by your thoughts, your mindset, where you come from, what you've come through, what you've overcome. So that dictates your life in a lot of ways. So if you don't recognize and realize that what your mom passed down to you or your dad passed down to you is toxic, or worrisome or bothersome or alarming, if you don't realize that because you've never been told by a healthy, whole, sane, driven, motivated, positive, successful individual outside of you to say, hey, that's not normal, hey, that's not healthy, hey, that comes from a place of fear. You dress like that because of the trauma you experienced as a youth, and you're still operating from that place of fear. So you're saying, where's my husband? But you're dressing in a way that repels men because you still feel vulnerable and afraid. So that has to be addressed through coaching, counseling, self work. Or, hey, you are saying you want this in a man, but you're not doing that as a woman. So you're saying you want a man who's built like this, but you're not built equivalent to that for a woman. You're saying you want a man who is like this, but you're not the match for a man who is like that. But if you can't see yourself, then you won't realize that you have a sign on your forehead that says rescue me, or that you are living a lazy or complacent lifestyle but wanting something that you're not because you're seeking approval. So you don't want to make the sacrifice that it takes for you to really change and grow in this particular area, but you want someone who has made that sacrifice in an area of their life to grow or change in that way, and then you will live through them. They will be what you can't be or what you refuse to sacrifice to become. They will be that for you. But what you don't realize is that he does not want a woman who won't sacrifice in that area because he had to sacrifice in that area. So this is what you have to understand, that just like you hear when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. When the wife is ready, the husband will appear. That's real. It's hard to hear though. It's hard to hear. Y'all give me a second. That's hard to hear because you might be in your 40s and you're like, "Where's my husband? What in the world? What you mean? When the wife ready? Uh, when the wife ready? Hold on. The husband will appear. What are you talking about? I'm ready. I've been ready. I'm a good catch." Yes, but you can't catch yourself. Somebody has to catch you. So what you have to understand is, okay, what is there that I need to be doing that's going to position me better? And so for a lot of times, it's like, to be honest with you, the first thing a lot of times is superficial. Just because men are visual creatures. So the first thing that I notice a lot of times is something superficial. It's just a woman who she just hasn't tapped into fashion or, her body, just like, doing what she needs to do with herself, with the way she presents herself. That's typically the first thing. Like, and different people, it takes different levels of, focus on yourself and your presentation. The next thing, it comes down to just mindset, and your heart's posture, your heart's positioning. What are you living with? What haven't you healed from? What are you telling yourself? And so many women are saying, I want a husband, but in the next breath saying men are trash, men are all dogs. You're gonna get cheated on no matter who you're with. Every man's gonna be unfaithful. And so you're hearing that. And so then you're like, okay, that shows on your face. And the other thoughts is, well, she has a husband. She has a husband. How does she get a man? How does she get a man? I look better than she does. I make more money than she does. My body's nicer than hers. And then you looking and you start to operate from a place of jealousy or a place of comparison. And then that shifts your energy. So now you're more so frustrated and fed up. So when you walk past a man, he sees a woman who looks frustrated and fed up. And that's not an approachable face, but you don't even realize that's what your face is saying because you haven't taken inventory of your thoughts, of your personal thoughts and what you're telling yourself. And so it's literally typically one tweak. Now, when there's no tweaks that need to be made, that's when it's spiritual. That's when it's a spiritual thing, and God is saying to you, I won't put more on you than you can bear. You're not ready because you haven't completed or even began the work that you were given to do. So what are you doing? I can't send a man into your life when you haven't started your company or you haven't taken your certification or gotten your degree or gotten in position for your promotion or started your company so that you can start your nonprofit or your LLC, your for-profit company. You haven't activated purpose. So if a man comes into your life right now before you've done what you need to do, the growth, the healing, it could be mental, it could be emotional, it could be spiritual, it could be, physical, it could be in business, but it's a spiritual block to where the God you're praying to, the God you're serving, you're not hearing, you're not listening to because you're shouting commands and what you want, but you're not being silent and still and hearing what you need to do, what needs to be done by you. And so not realizing that actual activation, do you notice how Yeah, you really don't see a successful woman single, you know, like if unless she wants to be single. Like most successful women, and when I say success, it doesn't I don't mean millionaires. I don't mean 100,000 a year. I mean a woman that is in her purpose, a woman who's doing what she was put here to do. You and regardless of her height, her weight, her color, her look, successful women, meaning she's in her purpose and she's doing what she's called to do. If she has worked on herself, because there are successful women who are single, but it's a mental block. It's a mental block. So a lot of the successful women I work with, they still haven't, who are single, a lot of successful women who are single haven't overcome their loose booty 901, their loose booty ways. And so they still getting on their back. So yes, you're successful in business, but you're not successful in life because you don't understand the value of your body. So every man you meet, when he gets your body, then you lose value to him because he's like, she doesn't know her value. And if I could sleep with her in this amount of time, if I left tomorrow, then another man could sleep with her in the same amount of time. So then now she's racking up all of these diseases, all of these babies, all of these soul ties, all of these bodies, all of these connections. And so a man who is quote unquote a good man in your eyes doesn't see you as quote unquote a good woman because you're not judging him for sleeping with you. You could do the same math, but you don't understand how he's judging you because he values your body more than you value your own body. And he values your life more than he values his own life. So he feels you are more of a prize than him. So where he may feel like his body doesn't mean that much if he spreads it around, he feels that your body should be reserved and that you should love yourself and respect yourself. And he has this mentality that's like what you will call a double standard because you're like, hey, if you asked me to do this, so how are you judging me for saying yes? And that is life. My uncle is serving 40 years in prison because a undercover agent asked him to sell him some drugs. So it's like, how are you asking me? How are you taking me to prison for something that you came and asked me to do? Like, you set me up. Like, you wouldn't have known that I do that if you wouldn't have came and asked me, are you using it? Are you going to go to jail if you secretly using it? No, but that is how most men try to find their wife. Just not knowing any better, not hearing a video like this, not realizing that he's damaging his soul and creating soul ties by pursuing you, trying to sleep with you, and then sleeping with you and then judging you for sleeping with him. And you're like, how in the world are you going to leave me for sleeping with you? I gave you a gift. I gave you a prize. And I wanted some just like you wanted some. So how are you better than me? And that's the thing. Men innately see women as better than us. He literally, men are looking for a woman who can make them better. If you have the same habits and the same shortcomings and the same downfalls and pitfalls as him, he's like, it's nothing you can do for me because you are the help me. You're supposed to be stronger, smarter, better. And I'm looking up to you. And I know this sounds crazy, but just look around. Just look around. Every man that has changed his life for the better, if he's in a relationship, he attributes it to his wife. What these men are saying is this woman, because of her outlook on life, because of her stance on life, because of her belief system, she made me want to grow and be a better man. And if a man wants better and you as a woman reinforce his negative behavior, his toxic behavior, then he will leave you because he says, I could do better by myself or I could do bad by myself. So if you're going to let me sleep with you and I haven't worked for you, I haven't earned you, then what is the point of us being together and me putting you on a pedestal if you don't even feel like you deserve to be on the queen pedestal? And so, but when you as a woman, and then some women say, no, you got to work for me, but they aren't working for themselves. Meaning, she says, no, you got to work for me. But he's like, but you're not a prize. And you're like, how am I not a prize? And he's like, well, look at you. You don't take care of your body. You're not, trying to get in shape. You're not trying to be better. But yet you're saying we can't sleep together. I can't sleep with you, but you're not taking care of yourself. So you want prize treatment, but you're not doing prize behaviors. And so that's another reason why you see so many men move on with their life. And it's typically one thing. And a lot of times you can want a man as a woman, but not be spiritually available, not be emotionally available. And the man can tell that. So a man, and so you can be in protective custody, meaning that God has his hands on you and will harden the heart of a man and not allow a man's heart to be softened enough to fall in love with you or fall for you because you haven't activated and done what you're supposed to do. And then what you have to understand is you attract the man based on your level. So because different people like different things. So the type of man that you attract as a high school dropout will not be the same type of man that you would attract as a GED holder. Would not be the same type of man that you attract as a bachelor's degree holder, as a master's degree holder, as a doctorate degree holder. It's different levels of men and different levels of attraction based on how a man views himself. The man that you attract when you are 300 pounds overweight is different than the man you will attract at 200 pounds overweight, different than the man you will attract at 100 pounds overweight, than the man at 80 pounds, 50 pounds, 40 pounds, 5 pounds overweight, because it's different levels of men. So a man who doesn't, who struggles with his weight and he doesn't know how to, or he doesn't care to get the weight off, if he knows how to, but he doesn't care to, then he's okay with a woman who is, way overweight, but he's the same way. But for a man, that may have different implications than it does for a woman. So for a woman, it may not mean that because you're overweight, you are, sloppy in the house and messy in your house or lazy in business. But for a man, if he is way overweight, that may be a byproduct of him being unorganized, undisciplined, lazy, unmotivated. So a lot of times where women don't understand, where's my husband and why am I not attractive to a man, because he does the same thing, or he has the same faults, or he has the same issues, or he has the same this, is different. It means different things based on society. Yes, there are double standards, and yes, we operate under those whether we like it or not. 99% of people operate under double standards. Men and women have double standards of their own that they've made up, that they've seen, that they've accepted. And so it's different. It means different things. A woman who smokes weed has different implications than a man who smokes weed. A woman who drinks, different than a man who drinks. A woman who will sleep with a man on the first night, different than a man who will sleep with a woman on the first night. A lot of times the reasoning is different. A lot of times the thought process is different. The feeling is different. What it does mentally, emotionally, spiritually is different. Why? Because we're not the same being. Men and women are not the same being. So a woman can't think like a man, and a man can't think like a woman. So you have to understand you and where you need to be. So, and it's different levels, because a lot of times we behave in the world based on how we are treated. And how we're treated is determined by how we look. And how we look is determined by societal norms and of beauty constructs in your region, in your state, in your country, in your socioeconomic class. And so you have to understand this. Now, this may be something that they did not teach in college or in high school. And this may be very painful to hear. That's why I'm doing it between you and I, so you can hear it on your own. Don't let your insecurities speak for you in the comments. Just get what I'm telling you and understand this is the real world, whether you like it or not, whether it makes sense or not, whether it might not make sense, but that doesn't mean it's not reality. But here's the bottom line. The truth is when you are ready, he will come. When you are ready, your husband, a man sees you every and anywhere. But here's the thing. Based on your natural look, you may need to be doing something different with your eating habits, with your body, with your face care routine, with your hair care routine, with your clothes. You may need to be doing something different, but you're doing the wrong thing because you haven't gotten unbiased outside feedback, and the work that it may take, you feel like it's too much. So you say, okay, talking to a fashion consultant and setting a budget aside and getting outfits and paying this fashion consultant to go to the mall with me or to sit on Zoom with me while I order these clothing items offline is too much work. I am not doing that. But if you were raised in a very conservative, backwoods country, a certain type of extreme, or very Hollywood, fashion forward, borderline way too much, too loud, too skimpy. If you were raised in a certain type of extreme, then it takes extreme measures to balance yourself out so that you can be approachable, so that you can be attractive in your natural skin, in your natural body. I'm not saying go get under the knife and get face surgery, because everybody beautiful in the sight of God, and beauty's in the eye of the beholder. Everybody look good to somebody, but even your somebody may require that you do a little bit more preparation than you're doing. And that's where the painful part is a lot of times it's just one thing. And it's like, listen, okay, with the situation that God gave you, you can't wear that. And you can't just do that. Or you can't just say that. Or you can't just, you got to adjust and adapt and do this over here. And sometimes it's just honest, real, raw feedback. So it's like, when I got my wife, I didn't have my 4 gold teeth on the top. I just had the 2 on the bottom. She fell in love with me, but she eventually encouraged me to get them 2 gold teeth off the bottom. You see what I mean? So she really wanted a clean cut man, not no man with no two gold teeth separated, looking like an old school $2 pimp. She wanted a clean cut man. I used to have braids and I had little twists at one point. She liked my hair low cut, clean cut, So guess what? If I would have been so stuck on having 6 gold teeth, long scraggly goatee, locks, I wouldn't have attracted my wife, because she's not attracted to locks. Even though she's Jamaican and people have this stereotype that Jamaican men got locks, all Jamaican men got locks, and all Jamaican women gonna be attracted to locks. My wife does not like locks at all. She's not attracted to it, and she's always told me that the whole time. She don't like a man who shave his legs. As athletes, we shaved our legs, and some athletes shave their arms too. She did not like that. Me being an athlete, when I met her, I used to shave my legs. She expressed to me, I don't like shaving legs. I don't want a man whose legs smoother than mine. And then I also don't want a man who, when your hair's growing back, you prickling me under the covers. Your legs rubbing up under me and cutting me with them coarse, sharp hairs growing back. My wife told me that. So you see what I'm saying? Even in what you're looking for, everybody gonna have certain preferences that to them it implies something. So that preference, although some preference got to be, weeded out, that preference implies something about you. And so when your husband isn't showing up, there is some work to be done. Because you can have what you want, but you have to become what you want to attract. And so literally, and it's painful, but literally, and this goes both ways, men and women. Like, I've seen guys who they had a vision of the type of wife that they want, but it was something about their personality or their lifestyle that they refused to change. So the type of woman that he wants doesn't want him. Or men want this certain type of woman, and this woman may be shapely with a nice, butt, nice thighs, nice midsection, but the man may be, built like this toiletry bag. And so he want a woman that's like this right here, but then he want to be built like this. And the woman, she like, listen, I put in too much work in the gym. I sacrifice. Yes, I want to eat Popeyes every day because I love the taste of that Louisiana fake fried chicken. Yes, I want Popeye, but I sacrifice and I eat grilled chicken and broccoli because I know what that grease is going to do to my body. So this woman is saying like, yes, I want to eat at midnight and have, high sodium ramen noodles because they tasty and I used to love them in college, but I stopped eating at 8 p.m. to give my body a window, to process, to work on the healthy, fueling foods that I've eaten in the day. And yes, I want to drink soda because it's tasty and I love the carbonation as it's going down my throat, but I substitute that soda for water because the longevity that it's going to give my body and what it does for my cells and my skin. That's what the woman's saying. So she's saying, listen, I understand you got a good heart. And see, I have to flip this because sometimes women get offended when it's on them, when really the same thing is being said in a lot of cases. The woman saying, listen, I understand you got a good heart. I understand you successful, but we're not compatible. Because when I want to go to the gym, you want to go to the table. When I want to drink water, you want to drink soda. When I want to live to see 100, you probably going to live to see 65 because of your lifestyle and your habits. So we're not compatible because I don't want to get married to you and then I'm going on and I'm ready to travel and then you going to meet the Lord because of the way that you've chosen to live your life, because of the ignorance that you were raised with in an area where people were not educated about the body and how it works, and you've remained in that ignorance and you've remained in that cycle of ignorance, and you now are a product of your environment. And although knowledge is in front of you and being presented to you, you don't want to get this knowledge and grow. You don't want to change. So we're not compatible. And that a lot of times is what it is. And it's typically something, mental, something, just a mindset, a thought process, a belief system, or it's physical, which that pretty much encompasses everything, mental or emotional or physical. But you have to identify what area it is and just see, okay, like, look, this is what it's going to take. Or you may have to identify, okay, who are you attracted to? And why are you attracted to that type of man? Who put that in your mind? Who told you that's handsome? Who told you that's a good man? Who told you that's husband material? Who put that in your mind? What's the root of that? And why are you overlooking this man right here who wants you? Why do you want this type of man when this is the type of man that is crazy about you and wants you, and this type of man that you want sees you as average and mediocre and everyday? Because he can have this other type of woman, or he wants this other type of woman, but you want him, so he will do with you, he'll settle for you, but he doesn't want you. But to you, he is a prize because he's 6'4", or because he's muscular, or because he looks tough, or because he looks like he can provide security financially or physically or spiritually. And so he looks like this ideal husband, but he doesn't want you. He doesn't want you. He doesn't respect you. He doesn't see you as a prize. He doesn't see you as a wife, but you want him because that's your vision of a husband. But you haven't evaluated how he feels about you and how he sees you and women like you, nor have you taken into account how this man over here sees you and why he adores you and why he wants you, and what it is about him that is quality characteristics that this other guy that you want does not have. But this guy here is, you're not identifying why you're not attracted to him, and getting to the root of that to see if it's a vain place, a superficial place, a place of ignorance, a place of, misinformation, miseducation. And that's the same thing that some men do. A lot of men suffer from that same thing. They're not evaluating that. But here's the other key, is you got to be okay with not being chosen or not being approached by a man who has a double standard, a man who believes and lives in a double standard and can't see himself, refuses to look at himself, and only wants to judge you. You have to be okay walking away from that man. You got to be okay not being what that man wants, because that's his loss, because he doesn't even know what he's looking at, because he's not really a man, he's a grown boy. So you have to understand that and be okay with that, and realize that this is the thing. Yes, the man for you is the man for you. Your husband is your husband. But what you have to realize is your husband that you're going to be successful with, your husband that you're going to be happy with, he doesn't just want you. He wants the best version of you, because he is presenting or is growing with you. He wants you to be growing at the same rate that he's growing. He wants you to have goals like he has goals. So yes, he's your husband and he wants you, but he doesn't want the mediocre, complacent version of you. The version of you that won't sacrifice and just wants to give in to, youthful lusts and feed your, the childhood traumas or generational curses or ignorance that you were raised with want to just wallow in that. He doesn't want that version of you. He wants the version of you that wants more, that wants to grow, that wants to be better, that wants to stretch yourself, wants to push yourself, because that's what he's on. And if you meet a quote unquote husband and he's not growing and he's not trying to be better, and you are everything he wants, but you want more out of life and you want to grow and push yourself, and he's not trying to grow and push himself, then guess what? You have to be willing to walk away. You got to be willing to say, listen, I got to have something to work with. A man shouldn't be a build-a-bear, a build-a-man, a project. That's not what you're looking for. No, he's not going to be perfect. I need to get back to my old chair. Well, this chair, maybe I've been in this chair too long. I've been in this chair 3 hours. Check out my booty hurt. Yeah, I got to get going. I did our call. I called 2 hours. Then I'm shooting this video because tomorrow I'm going from game to game. Now, and this one thing, all right? This one thing about me. I'm going to have to stop showing my life because it's a lot of people that be bitter and upset. But me, I believe in living. You hear me? Tomorrow I'm going to a bowl game, football game. I'm leaving that game, and me and my wife going to the basketball game. I believe in living. You hear me? We get one chance. We get one chance on this world. I'm not finna live in fear. I'm not finna live in scarcity. I believe in living. You hear me? So when you see me going here and there, don't get upset and jealous with me. You know, get inspired and get out the house. Go do your walk around the park. You know, we be safe. We be socially distanced, but we live because I believe in living. You only live once. And you sitting there shut up in that house. You sitting in that house and you don't want to get out the house and go nowhere and do nothing. And y'all, you living in fear. Listen, you're going to be mad watching me because I'm finna live. And don't put your fear on me. Don't put your fear on me. Don't what about this? Listen, I'm covered by the blood of Jesus. I'm finna live this life that he done gave me and make the most of it because tomorrow ain't promised. You hear me? So live your life now. So I had to shoot this video, you know, this Friday night. So you'll see this on Saturday. But I just know I'm going to be running around all day. But I want you to understand, you know, he is going to come. But what you have to realize is you have to get prepared. You know, you got to do what you got to do. And if you don't know what to do, if you're at your wit's end, you're like, what do I got to do? Understand. And you say, man, I did everything. Man, I'm everything. I did this, I did that. I don't know why I can't track my husband. Listen, that answer right there is going to hurt. That answer is going to hurt. But it literally could be something like, listen, you dress like a stripper on her break when you need to dress like a chic and modern PR lady. Look at the PR lady's outfits and look at the stripper's outfits on her break and compare the two. You need to go from strip on a break to PR. That might, what? I know fashion. I love my fashion. I'm not going to change the way I dress. Okay, well, you're going to remain single like you've been single. What? The answer might be, okay, listen. Have you seen the movie The Help? Okay, where the ladies was housemaids? Okay, I want you to look at their hairstyle in The Help, the maids. You wearing the same hairstyle that Viola Davis had on in the movie. It's 2021. The hairstyle gonna have to go. We're gonna have to do something different with the hair. So every man walking right past you because you looking smart, use is strong, use is important, and he keep going because he like, whoa, I want to be able to dress up and go to the ball, go to the gala, however you pronounce it, the nonprofit organization fundraiser with a little bit of pizzazz on my woman. Now, I want to turn a couple heads, but she got on the houseworker hairstyle from the 50s. Ain't gonna be able to do that. Because I don't want to argue with her. I don't want to try to change her. I don't want to walk around neck tired because she holding up that wig that I done convinced her to get on. She's scratching tracks all day because she is not used to wearing her hair like that. And I don't want to have to try to change her. So I'm going to just keep going about my business. It might be something like that. It might be like, listen, I know you went through some tough times in your life. I know stuff was hard. And in those moments, you start to emotionally eat. And you built a relationship with food. But the relationship that you built with food is an unhealthy relationship. So that unhealthy relationship with food is showing up in your body. So it's sending a message that you don't love yourself and that you're wallowing in your trauma or your pain of your past, and you will be a project. And he is not fit or ready to train you in that area. So he keeps going about his business. And then the man who does come into your life, he sees that, recognizes it, ignores it, but it's because he wants your money, your access, your privilege, your position, your comfort, because he's not on your level financially. So he wants you for that. Or you are a fetish. You know, he has a vision of being with a woman, a fetish for a woman who has an unhealthy emotional relationship with food. And notice I'm not using derogatory terms or anything like that and saying all that, because I'm saying this from love, that a lot of times it's just a little tweak. It's just a little tweak. And then some of y'all, some women, it is you too desperate for a husband. So you walk around, you look like that. That's how you look. You walking around and you walking with a straight face. But you so ready for a husband. You done watch everybody else's wedding proposal. You go on YouTube, you watch proposals all day. You watch The Bachelor and The Bachelorette on repeat. You on everybody comments who getting married. You done been the bridesmaid 28 times. You so ready for a husband that when he see you, although you making a face like this is what he did. I just happen to have a Gatorade. This is not a prop. I did not have this for the video. Did not plan to use this. So I want y'all to understand. I literally drunk my Gatorade not long ago. And that's how you look to him. And you don't even realize that's how he see you. Like the alien on Ghostbusters. You know, he sees something totally different and you don't realize it's your mindset. You so desperate and ready and thirsty for a man. Instead of being completely focused on yourself and your grind and your business, your career, whatever it is, your corporate career, your entrepreneurial career, whatever it is, instead of being completely wrapped up in that and getting better and growing as a person in the 3Bs, brain, brand, body, you so desperate for a husband, he could see it on you from a mile away. So a lot of times it's one tweak. It's mental, it's emotional, it's spiritual, it's physical. And sometimes it's, you know, when I say physical, I mean superficial. Sometimes it's just understanding perception. Just understanding perception. Like if I walked around with my 6 gold teeth that I used to have and I'm just, nah. Hey, shawty, hey, you heard me calling you girl. Hey, come here, girl. Hey, what's up? Hey, let me eat that right now. Hey, wait, right now. If I kept that same energy, and it just means I don't understand perception. So it's like I'm just stuck in my hood. I'm stuck in my ways of being with the grown boys, being with, you know, my gang, and I'm just stuck in that. And I just know one way to communicate. And then I'm wondering, why can't I get married? Why ain't got me no little shorty, man? I don't want no little bad. You know what I'm saying, man? Come on, man. Nobody want me. Like, why every woman I be dating, she be like, you cool, but I gotta go a separate way. Like, what's up, shorty? Like, what wrong? Come here, girl. You see what I'm saying? So sometimes it's just The same way a man have to adapt and change and grow and learn, a woman have to do the same thing. You just may have to learn, like, okay, just shift it this way. Like, try this type of dress, this type of outfits, this, do a little bit with this hairstyle. Like, okay, do a little bit more over here, with your health and wellness. Just, all right, let's just focus there and master that. And then here he come. Here come the man. Because you done mastered you. You done worked on you. So understand, it's painful. It is painful when you hear we attract what we are. But it's true. It's true. I hate to say that. And this where a lot of people get hung up. Well, I only thug walk up to me. I'm not no thug. So how I'm attracted that? Only grown boys, only sorry men do that to me. To him, you look like his reflection. Because he sees what you can't see. He reading you totally different. But you've never taken the time to have a session with a man who's going to be honest with you, who is married and faithful and not trying to sleep with you, and going to give you honest feedback from the male perspective. Because you telling yourself, I don't care about what a man got to say. But then at the same time, you saying, I want a husband. If you want a husband, then you got to care about what a man thinks. I ain't gonna do all that. Like, okay, you're not gonna have no husband. It just get on my nerves. So you mean to tell me you got to do all of that for a man? Guess what? He got to do all of that for you. He got to do all of that. He has to work on himself too. Do you just want a man come up to you looking all one kind of way? He way to the extreme in one way or the other. Like, you don't want no man who coming to you with no pants pulled up to his chest with a tight belt and the pants bunched up like this, and he got a belt buckle right here, and he got the glasses looking like this. Glasses look like this, and toothpick in his mouth, and a computer bag. You can be like, listen, I understand you smart. Like, I understand you love that computer. I understand you love to work on that computer, but can you have a little bit of swagger? Like, can we pull them pants, hike them pants down just a couple notches? You see what I'm saying? So it's the same. It go both ways. You don't want no man coming you look like he just had, all he do is eat Thanksgiving dinner every day. You don't want no man coming to you like that. So you have to make sure you don't look like all you do is eat Thanksgiving dinner. And listen, okay, yeah, the love of the Lord fatteneth the bones. But listen, you still got to get to your comfortable space where you good at. That's not a certain weight. It ain't saying every woman got to be, 175 or under. That might not be for your body. Your weight might be another number on the scale, but it fit on you differently. So it ain't about somebody else, it's about you. It's like, are you eating healthy? Are you working out? Are you taking care of your body in every aspect? Mind, body, spirit. Are you keeping your legs closed? Are you feeding yourself right? Eating right? You living right? You getting enough sleep? Are you taking care of yourself? If you're taking care of yourself, and that can be vouched for by a life coach, health and wellness coach, personal trainer, they can say, okay, yeah, the regimen you on is A-okay. If that's the case, then you're in a good space. If that's the case, then you're doing what you're supposed to do. If that's the case, you're good. If that's the case, then it's just a matter of time. Then it comes down to God's timing. And that's when you need to be sensitive to the spirit, and you have to have a spiritual discernment to where you could hear, okay, Lord, you have not sent my husband, so what else do I need to activate in order to be in season, in preparation? Now listen. Okay, listen. I got to do this on like this right here, because if this was a live seminar and I'm stepping on your toes, you in the squirming, you ready to get up, the devil get into you, you get your purse, You know what? I'm not this male chauvinist crap. I'm not finna be. Give me the purse. Can you please get off my scrap? You sitting on my scrap. This I'm sick and you getting up all loud just so everybody could see you leaving because I'm a male chauvinist. Now I'm a male chauvinist. Now I'm superficial. Now I'm a double standard. Now I'm a charlatan. Now I'm just all of that. That's the honest reason why, men and women can't be honest with each other because we so sensitive. We so sensitive. And I'm just here to tell you, I'm married. Okay? So I'm just trying to help. And it's hard to let you know that, listen, it's just probably one thing. And that one thing is probably something you have not considered, or that one thing is you haven't been willing to sacrifice to do it. It's just, and so many women come to me, and I'm told so many women, listen, it's one thing and one thing only. Your fashion. That's it. That's the only thing. Listen, talk to my wife. I'll set up a session with you and my wife. Y'all get on the computer. Let her see your body type and let her give you some outfit suggestions for your body type. Ain't now a woman book that session with my wife. And my wife don't do coaching anyway. She don't want to coach. She ain't got time. So she say, and so I'm like, okay, well, you more busier than me. All right, I'll hit you. So you want me to coach? You don't want to coach? All right. But no, she don't do no coaching. And I could do it because I see her. Now, yeah, my wife can afford the designer now, and so a lot of people despise who had labels. But no, if you pay attention to how she put outfits together, it actually just sends different messages. Cool, comfortable, classy, cute, sexy, whatever. She got different styles, and it's perfect. I absolutely love it. And I just know as a man, men gonna respect a woman who can look fly, but also look sophisticated and classy and on trend, up to date. And so I know what it looked like, but a lot of women don't want to hear that, but yet trying to attract the man, but don't care about what a man think or feel. And because it's male chauvinist, I guess, what have you. But it's the double standard. But I'm here to tell you, your husband on the way. You just got to be willing to make that one change. Or it might not be a change. It could be about what you need to activate. So if you got this far, hey, God bless you. You came, you listened. I know it's painful. I know it's hard. Hopefully I ain't step on your toes. If I did, activate. Do what you know you need to do to get in position. If you really ready for a relationship, become what you want to attract. Become what you want. If you want an ambitious man, be ambitious. If you want an ambitious and healthy and fit man, then be ambitious, healthy, and fit. If you want a spiritually sound man who is obedient to the Spirit, then be obedient to the Spirit. And if you want a man who open to feedback and is open-minded and can listen and communicate, be that person. You can't be getting angry and shutting down when somebody give you a little bit of advice, but then you want a man that's going to be open and communicative. This doesn't go together. Because as soon as y'all have a date, he going to realize that you sensitive and that you don't like to hear no truth directed your way, but you want to give out all the truth. You see what I mean? Become what you want to attract and then get some feedback from a professional on if you are portraying yourself how you want to be perceived. And if not, what tweaks need to be made, because perception is reality. So what other people think does matter. Like, if I didn't care about how you think, about how you feel, then you wouldn't be here watching my videos. So I have to be sensitive. And if I just came on here and just flossing every day and just, hey, look at this, just showing off, just putting you down, making you feel less than, hey, I got more money than you, hey, you ain't on my level, hey, get like me, I'm throwing money. Like, if I ain't care how you feel and I just was doing that, would you keep showing up if I'm demoralizing you and I'm making you feel like you less than, or like I'm better than you, or like I'm so blessed and you not blessed. Instead of trying to motivate you and inspire you and give you some insight that maybe others won't tell you, would you be here? I gotta care about how you think. Your opinion matter if I want you to be here. Now, if your opinion just ridiculous, and I know that I'm doing right and I'm, in a good space, then that don't matter. And that's what I mean. The same thing for you. If you know you doing right, if you know you ready and you prepared, then ain't no change need to be made. It's just about God's timing at that point. And that's when you got to consult God to see, okay, what is it that I need to do, or give me the patience that I need for my season. Where am I at? What is going on? Give me that wisdom, knowledge, understanding, patience, poise, what have you. And so it may not be something drastic or even small that you need to do. It could simply be timing. It could simply be just the season of your life that you're in. So, hey, this Tony Gaskins. God bless you. Just had a voice memo pop up on my computer here. Somebody sent me a message. I'm gonna see what this talking about. It's midnight. Hey, God bless you, and we'll talk. And let me say, okay, it's midnight. And you see, my wife let me work. You know why? We've been gone on a little vacation. Come to the new year, I took that break. So, what my wife, she realized it's seasons. It's time where I with family. Like tomorrow, we doing games, and we're gonna have a good time. So I'm doing this video tonight, and I just had to do my 2-hour group coaching call, and so I'll be with family all day tomorrow. You see what I mean? Is what I want you to understand about when I'm doing this, it's still a balance. I don't work for YouTube. YouTube work for me. I still have family time and I have work time. And my wife and my kids understand that. When it's daytime, it's daytime. When it's work time, it's work time. So I want y'all to understand, don't ever feel like, oh, Tony giving us so much time. Because what I'm giving you an hour a day. If that. You get an hour. It's 23 more hours. So don't ever assume that just because you seeing a video from me every day, that I ain't living what I'm preaching, I ain't got no family life. Because if you want to see me with my family now, just go watch my wife's stories. Follow her on Instagram if you see the video. Follow her on Instagram at Cherie Gaskins. And so you can see the other half, see the other half of me, because I'm not a vlogger, so I don't be showing everything, but you'll get to see the other side of my life through her. Follow her on Instagram at Cherie Gaskins. Hey, God bless you. We'll talk soon.